We had a president who thought he was untouchable. Not the president of a country, just the president of our HOA. But if you lived in our neighborhood, you'd think Richard Halbrook was running a kingdom. His word was law, his rules were absolute, and his ego was bigger than the homes he controlled. At first, we thought it was just about order. Maybe he just wanted the place to look nice. But it didn't take long to see what he really was. Power-hungry, controlling, vindictive. He fined Maria Alvarez for letting her kids leave toys in the yard. He mocked Ethan and Claire Thompson at a meeting for painting their door too bright a shade of red. He even humiliated Leo Jacobs, a retired veteran, over untrimmed bushes. And if you dared to question him, the fines doubled. The threats escalated. He embarrassed you in front of your neighbors and made you feel small. Some families moved away, tired of fighting. Others kept their heads down, hoping to avoid his wrath. But me, I stayed. My name is Daniel Reed. I watched. I remembered every insult, every dollar stolen in the name of HOA regulations. There was one empty lot in the neighborhood, a piece of land right next to Richard's house. He hated it, said it ruined the uniform look of his perfect community. At every meeting, he complained about it. At every gathering, he mentioned how he wished someone respectable would buy it, someone he could control. That's when the idea came. It started with a whisper between neighbors. Emma Collins was the first to say it out loud. Then Ethan and Claire nodded. Maria leaned in. Leo crossed his arms and said he was in. Quiet conversations on porches. Small nods exchanged across driveways. We all knew what we wanted. We wanted him to feel powerless. We wanted him to know what it was like to live under someone else's rule. So we pooled our money. Slowly, carefully, secretly. We signed papers behind closed doors. We never said a word to him. Until one day, the deed was ours. The lot next to his home, his precious empty lot, belonged to us. Richard didn't know at first, but when construction began, his confidence cracked. He demanded answers, but this time no one trembled. We smiled politely. Emma reminded him everything was legal, everything was approved, everything followed the same rule book he had used against us for years. He couldn't stop us. Not this time. Every day, he watched the walls rise higher. Every week, he saw the structure take shape. And every night, he grew quieter at meetings. For the first time, he had no control. And when the house was finished, it wasn't a home. It was a monument, a reminder, painted in colors he hated but couldn't outlaw, designed in ways he despised but couldn't forbid. A property owned not by one family, but by all of us, the neighbors he had tormented for years. We didn't need to live in it. We didn't need to rent it out. We just needed it to stand there, towering over him, reminding him that his reign was over. He still lives in the neighborhood. He still calls himself president, but everyone knows the truth. He's a man trapped inside the shadow of his own arrogance. The house next to his is a constant reminder that power can be taken away as easily as it's given. Sometimes I see him staring at it from his window, his jaw tight, his pride broken, and I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Because this was never about revenge for one person. This was justice for all of us. And justice, once delivered, doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to last. A house built on the silence of our patience and the weight of his downfall. What do you say about Funky Monument? Comment below, like and subscribe for more stories.